G'day, welcome to Todd's Kitchen. There are many tart recipes out there, but it's usually one ingredient or another. But today I'm going to make it a little bit interesting and combine two of my favourite ingredients into one tart. So join me today as I make my version of a lemon and chocolate tart. Okay, so we're going to start off by using a food processor. Now if you don't have a food processor, otherwise just do it by hand, it's just as easy. So what we're going to do is into this food processor, we're going to place in our plain flour, our sugar, and our salt. And we're just going to pulse this through just till it's well combined. Okay, next we're going to place in 120 grams of softened butter. And we're going to mix this through till it's well combined and it starts to resemble fine breadcrumbs. So to that we're going to add in our chilled water. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to pulse this just until it starts to form a dough ball. Okay, so I've got our dough here, just going to flatten it out a little bit. And what we're just going to do is just cover it in some plastic wrap, just so it's nice and airtight. Okay, so now we're going to place this in the fridge for an hour, and what that's going to do is it's going to give a chance for that butter and the water to seep into the flour properly. Okay, so I've taken our dough out of the fridge. And what I've done is I've placed it on some non-stick baking paper. And before that, we're going to use like a quiche dish. So with another piece of non-stick baking paper, we're just going to place that on top. And we're going to roll it out so it's larger than this dish. So you want about a centimetre or two hangover. Okay, so I've taken the top layer of baking paper off. So today we're just going to lightly sprinkle some flour just on top. This is just going to help prevent it from sticking to the rolling pin. So we're just going to roll it up into the rolling pin like so. And then I'm just going to roll it back out just on top of our pan. So what we're going to do is just push down just on the edges, just on the inside. And just grabbing a rolling pin, we're just going to roll just on the outside. And that's just going to cut off the excess. Okay, so once it's all in the pan and it's nice and neat, we're going to place this back in the fridge for 10 minutes. Okay, so I've taken the dough out of the fridge. So now we're going to, with a fork, we're just going to puncture it just around like so. Next, grab a sheet of baking paper. And now I have some rice and we're just going to pour the rice just on top. What this is going to do is it's just going to weigh it down, just prevent the pastry from rising up too much. So just spread it out. Okay, so we're going to place this into a preheated oven at 190 degrees Celsius for 15 minutes. Okay, so I've just taken this out of the oven. So what we're going to do now is we're going to remove the rice and the paper and we're going to place it back into the oven for another 15 minutes. Okay, so it's out of the oven. Now it's been cooling down for about 20 minutes now. And as you can see, it's gone brown just on the outside. That's exactly how you want it. So what I've done is I've melted our chocolates in the microwave. I've put it in there for 30 seconds at a time until it's melted. So we're just going to pour that onto the base. And just using the back of a spoon, we're just going to spread it out so it's nice and even. Okay, so once done, we're going to place this back in the fridge and we're going to let it set while we start on our lemon curd. Okay, so next I have a pot of boiling hot water on the stove. So today we're just going to put on a bowl. Now it's very important that the level of the water isn't high enough that's going to touch the bottom. So today we're going to add in our chopped up butter. And we're just going to stir that and just let it melt down. Okay, now that the butter is melted, we're going to add in our freshly squeezed lemon juice. Then to that our egg yolks. Then our eggs. And finally our caster sugar or superfine sugar. Okay, we're just going to stir that through. And we're just going to keep on slowly stirring this. It's going to take about 15 minutes. And in that 15 minutes, it's going to start to thicken up where you can coat the back of a spoon. Okay, so I've had this stirring for 15 minutes now. It's really thickened up nicely. Now just get a normal spoon. Just touch the back. See how it sticks to the spoon like so? That means it's ready. Okay, so now that it's thickened up, we can take it off the heat. Now as one final step, we're just going to put in half a teaspoon of salt. And just give that a good mix through. What the salt does, it just enhances the lemon flavour. Okay, so once this is mixed through, we're going to let this cool down for say 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so as you can see, our chocolate has set and our lemon curd mixture has cooled down. So it's just a matter of simply pouring it on top. Okay, so once it's been poured on top, we're going to place this back in the fridge and we're going to leave it in the fridge for a good 4 hours to completely set. Okay, so I've just taken it out of the fridge and it's been there for about 6 hours. Okay, so it's cut up and you can see the lovely layer of chocolate and the curd on top. Now you can have it as is, or you can add some topping. This is what I'm going to use. So I'm just going to add a dollop just to the top. And it's done. Okay, so this really is a simple yet effective dessert to make. But the big question is, how does it taste? Well, let's give it a try. The chocolate is a bit hard, obviously, but let's give it a go. That is really good. No, that really is. I guarantee if you like lemon, you're going to love this. Even if you're not a huge fan of lemon, give it a go, because it is a lovely dessert. But the only thing that matters with this recipe is it tastes simply delish.